Yeah, Shannon Sharpe's had a pretty interesting week this week. I'm sure. Did y'all see the original IG
Yeah,
live video that
I
went?
did. I seen it.
Okay, I was watching. I was on my Twitter, or X as it's known now, and I was just scrolling the feed, and then I saw the video of Shannon Sharpe, and I said, "What is this?" Because at first,
the angle or how it was just like, what the heck is this showing?
Yeah, so I'm just sitting there watching it, going, it says Shannon Sharpe, so I'm like, what is this? And then I click the video. And I'm just like, now my first thought was, okay, this is a hack, or it wasn't real. That was my first thought. Shannon Sharpe isn't a reckless dude like that. He don't be out here like that. You know, I follow Shannon on Nightcap. I follow him on First Take. So, you know, I'd like to think I'm familiar enough with his character to know this was completely out of character. So I'm at first thinking this is a skit or something. Somebody's imitating Shannon Sharpe having sex. And then I heard the voice, and I'm like, yo, he's doing a really good imitation of Shannon. That was awesome. So then after that, I'm just seeing it everywhere, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this real? And I'm just kind of shocked because I'm not expecting Shannon Sharpe to be that way. I'm expecting him to.
Shannon and some good.
Yeah. So apparently he was not hacked. Shannon Sharpe accidentally went live on Instagram while he was smashing some buns. And
Not just no bun.
yeah, it was Michelle.
It was Michelle.
And I know because we have the
Michelle.
clip here. We have one clip of the actual IG live. Don't worry, there's nothing on it.
Picture of her and everything.
Yeah, but
That's my Michelle. That's my Michelle.
It's like Ocho say, nigga, you need to get in. You need to get some cardio. You got all those goddamn big ass muscles. You need to get some cardio. You sound like you was out of
That
breath.
shit sound boring.
yeah, so to everybody's surprise, they were shocked to find out that this was on Shannon Sharpe Live. Now, a lot of people originally the message was that Shannon Sharpe had got hacked, and that was the original thing that everybody was going with. But it turns out he was not hacked. This was the real deal, which led to Shannon Sharpe sending out an emergency notification for a special Nightcap last night. Did any of y'all get a chance to see Nightcap last night?
No.
No, not last night. I saw today.
Okay, now I'm an avid watcher of Nightcap. I usually have Nightcap on when it's live because I'm up doing editing for the show. The crazy thing is, if you did not miss Nightcap last night, I implore all of you to go back and watch the replay. That was easily one of the top 3 funniest episodes of Nightcap I've ever had the opportunity to witness and watch. The jokes were flying left and right, the puns and everything, and it was just an exciting episode of Nightcap.
It sounded boring. It's their sexual escapade. It sounded boring. We
caught the tail end.
We caught the tail end.
That's when it's supposed to be I'm sorry, maybe that's just me. That's when the tail end mean I'm getting ready to talk the most because the show get ready to come to an end. I got to give the most powerful performance possible.
He tried to the blue chews. Something.
He was advertising his
him or something like that.
Stuff.
To me it was boring. But were you ready to play a clip or something?
I'm going to play the first clip from Nightcap in which they discussed that. I'm going to go ahead and play it now.
Situation like this, you try to make light of it. Nobody was harmed in the making of this audio.
No. Well, I don't know. Except
you know, she might have had to put a little ice pack down there, but she good otherwise. Nope. You know, you play a hard game, you ice. Basketball players ice their knees, they ice their ankles, the elbows and stuff like that. Up and down football players. Okay.
hey, she might be in the episode right now. Hey, she in the episode right now watching the show. Hey, Michelle. All right. Heal up, sweetie. Heal up.
I don't.
the put a name out there and everything.
Well, I mean, Shannon put the name out there.
Look,
he was the one saying Michelle's name in the video.
Now Michelle, the #1 name in America today.
Yeah.
Like Michelle.
Hey, did you see that tweet from Michelle Beadle that said it's not me?
Yeah. Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
Yeah.
Hey, Michelle.
This goes to show you a couple of things here.
Yes.
You need a cardio. Cardio in
Well,
your
it was,
life.
first of all, that session was boring. It sounded boring. Anyway, it showed me a couple of things. It showed me that Shannon Sharpe is probably the hottest commodity on television right now, because anybody else at ESPN would have pulled that stunt. They would have been fired within the next 10 minutes. If anybody else would have pulled that stunt, they would have been fired before the feed would have
All they did was
ended.
just told them, just stay at home today.
They would have been fired before the feed
Nigga got
ended,
caught,
because
got
you
the
know
day
how
off.
Got a day off.
you know how ESPN, Disney, all that. That just lets me know Shannon is that hot right now. That we just gonna let him cook.
Wait, now
He
that I
already-
think about it, is Shannon, he's not there the whole week on ESPN. Isn't
No.
he supposed to cover just Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah, but days like on football, he's there.
Oh, okay.
Football season, he's there.
Because I was thinking, would he be there today regardless?
The
Because
other day he was supposed to be there. The
Shit,
day
they're-
that it happened, he was
they're
supposed to be there.
they're
He wasn't.
not going to get, because he's
No,
just
because somebody
that-
be ready to pick him up.
He's making
Fox
that
definitely would
much
pick him up. Now
money.
that Skip is gone.
He is making that. He's the hottest commodity in entertainment
The
right
thing
now.
is, though, when you making all that, when you making that money on that damn podcast, and you making money outside, if you making just as much as you making at your daytime job on the outside, like between Club Shay Shay and Nightcap, that nigga making money.
Oh yeah, but then
the Cat Williams interview's at $74 million now.
but then it's
And now that Marlon Wayne's gonna be another classic.
the companies, they already
Oh, yeah,
coming
they
to
offer.
endorse you. Like, we gonna endorse you off top.
They
like,
already
so
offered Shay.
you always go like. That's how hot Shannon Sharpe is right now. He's the hottest entertainer in the world, I think.
That's why I said
in
that
the
it
United
wasn't a
States.
stunt.
I can't
That's
say
why
that,
I
but
said
he
it
is the
was a
hottest
stunt. They
entertainer
did
in the
that
world
shit.
right now.
I don't believe it was a stunt. But
I don't think so either. You just accidentally.
But did you see what Cameron had to say about it?
Hey, I got some. I got you. I got your order coming to you.
Either she did that or he did that.
It
But
was
you
on-
just
He
don't-
said it was his phone.
It was done on purpose.
But
though.
you just don't accidentally
Hit live.
Like
I know.
You know
how many
all it
apps-
takes to
you know
go
how
into
many-
live.
First of all, you know how many apps you got on your phone, and just for you to hit that specific
App.
app and hit live,
Stop.
and hit the button live.
Stop. No. You know it asks you sure you want to go live before you go live? Like, so yeah, it was premeditated, of course. She did it. I don't think he did it. I think she possibly did it.
But he said it was his phone. That's the
Okay.
Because it was his phone. Because he went into detail on Nightcap. He said it was his iPhone. He has a team that monitors his IG account. He said his team is the one who stepped in and had to end the live. They were the ones who came. Shannon didn't end the live. He didn't even know he was filming. His team stepped in into the live, and he said his team is the one who said he was hacked. He said that's just my employee trying to protect me. And he's the one who came. And Shannon was the one who said, I
Once
wasn't
he found
hacked.
out ESPN wasn't going to fire him, yeah, he came out and was like, stuff
Well, I mean,
happened.
that's what you're supposed to do if you're in that position for the person you're working with. Anytime something goes left, you were hacked, even if you weren't hacked. So that's
But
just a safety measure.
This is just another instance of Shannon Sharpe being the most popular person. Another week of Shannon Sharpe popularity still growing surprisingly. Like, surprisingly, Shannon Sharpe's popularity is growing immensely.
I know. That's what it's supposed to do. I mean, this is what Club Shay Shay is supposed to do. He's transcended sports now, which has made him transcend sports and his reputation.
But I didn't, when he first started in the business, I didn't see him like,
I didn't either.
like, he was just another
I
athlete.
didn't see Stephen A. back in Cold Pizza days being who he is now.
Just another athlete who transitioned to, sports media and stuff like that. But Shannon Sharpe really is like.
But let's be honest, who did you see being big in sports media that did live up to it? Pat McAfee?
Troy Aikman. Even
Troy
though people,
Aikman
Yeah, he well.
I never thought. I didn't even know who Pat McAfee was really
I didn't either.
until he got into.
Why not? You a wrestling fan? Why you didn't know?
No. What I'm saying is,
he
I
played
didn't know he
football.
played football.
He was a
I
punter
knew
for
he.
the Colts.
I know about him
A
in
punter?
WWE. Yeah, he played
was
for
a
the
punter. He was
Colts.
on-
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was
I
on
thought-
the points. He was on the Peyton Manning, and then when they won the championship,
Jeff Saturday, all them. That's why. That's why they so tight like that. But yeah, I knew Pat McAfee from Raw, but I knew he played punter too. But I mean, there's Peyton Manning. I knew Peyton Manning would be big, going from the field to sports.
Oh yeah.
I
can say
knew that. Tom Brady's going to be huge. Like once he really gets started. But I did not see Shannon, and it's a great thing to see. It really is.
Yeah, that's proof of what happens when you just keep it real. Having a speech impediment is just like a rite of passage to success. Look at James Earl Jones and Shannon Sharpe.
And now you got to feel like you're unstoppable.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
you
he
really
is,
gotta
because
feel
even
like
if
you're
ESPN did
unstoppable.
fire him, he'd still be straight.
But since they didn't, you got to feel like I probably did the most wildest stuff I could possibly ever do. And
No, he didn't, because he wasn't on camera. It could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Well, I mean, but it's still bad enough.
Yeah, it's
So,
bad, but it could have been a
I
hell of
could
a
have
lot
been,
worse.
but that you made it through that without what we know of any repercussions like that. You the hottest commodity in the market.
What kind of repercussion he can get? I mean, you didn't see anything; you just heard. He could have been just sitting there, just had a phone at live, and just be sitting there talking to each other. They doing role play. I mean, you didn't know.
Yeah.
You didn't even hear no bed rattle.
Yeah, but like I say, ESPN is owned by Disney, and you know Disney don't play. They take the smallest things and will
You
fire you.
can't fire everybody in front of the camera who makes a mistake.
Right, and then
Then you'd have no talent.
You have no
you-
proof of what he actually did.
They fired plenty of people at ESPN that we thought were talented.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
not
saying
for-
everybody.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what he did, what happened wasn't a fireable offense.
I don't know. He was
Yeah,
on
it
camera
is a
saying
fireable
dick.
offense because
okay,
you don't
but-
want. I don't want you. I don't want that. I don't. That's not how you represent me. You're still a representation of my company,
That's-
regardless.
we
We
get that,
don't have a
but,
BDSM department.
Get all of that, but what I'm saying is, you didn't see. All you did was heard.
It
You can't
doesn't
fire-
matter.
Obviously, you
It-
can tell you can't fire nobody just for talking.
I bet you somebody. If it was somebody else, they would have got fired. It's a fireable
Yeah,
offense
if you
because
had no
you have a
proof.
certain
He
reputation to
didn't do anything.
maintain.
You
Yes,
just
you
heard-
did.
You didn't hear. All you heard him sound like he was.
Okay, that's. I'm sure that's in
So
your
for
morality
somebody,
clause.
For somebody who's never fucked, they wouldn't know what the fuck he was doing.
I'm sure that's in your morality clause. Every job, especially
I'm
that,
sure there's a morality
so-
clause in it, but it didn't break the morality clause because you heard him talking. You didn't see anything. You didn't even hear no bed rattling. You did.
But you're still performing a lewd act, regardless of
you heard.
your
You were listening. You heard.
Yeah.
You can't
prove it.
You can't prove it. You have it has to be undeniable proof. If you saw it, what he was saying, yes, but we didn't see nothing. All we saw was the ceiling, and we see everybody commenting. We hear him talking, and he digging in some pussy.
anybody else, they get fired.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Probably so, but it's still.
So that's
they
what I'm
still-
saying, like-
but I said probably so, but that's not saying they can't win it in court. That they win some money.
Oh, they
But,
might win
yeah,
some money.
They
but
don't might. They will.
You go
because
anybody
you
else
didn't
get
see
fired
it.
except for Stephen A.
You didn't see it though. You just heard it. You didn't see it. So that's the difference. If you'd have seen him while he was when he was
Smash it.
talking, then yes, it's a fireable.
They
offense.
catch Ron Clark like that.
They call Paul Pierce like that, but Paul Pierce was
Yeah,
But
he was.
Paul-
He was
but
on
Paul
camera though.
Pierce
Yeah,
was doing some
Yeah,
other
he-
shit
he-
too.
he
He was
was-
drunk as hell.
he was
one
out of
time in
control.
front of
Like,
the camera.
Paul Pierce was
he
just-
called nigga live on the camera. So he did other
multiple
shit.
infractions.
Right, multiple shit. You know what I'm saying? So again, you talking about apples and oranges here. If you saw what he was talking about, all right, I get you. But that wasn't the case.
yeah.
So
Unfortunately,
it wasn't.
You
He
know,
was just talking. He was
you know,
narrating.
Stephen A. probably look at that like he'd be looking at Shannon now in disgust. Like you have just surpassed me.
Isn't
Not
Stephen
necessarily.
A. smashing Molly
Nah.
allegedly?
I
Allegedly.
don't think so.
I just we'll see how this torch passing goes.
Well, he about to be the highest paid anchor person in
Isn't it 20 million he wants?
25.
25.
25. So
We'll see how
he about to get that.
this torch passing goes.
Well, like I said, you remember it's a free agent space over there in Fox because Skip is gone. So if he leaves ESPN, Fox would definitely take his ass up quick. So he's
like Stephen A. is like
no, I'm talking about for Shannon.
Oh, Shannon's the hottest commodity. Like he's going to draw. So
Stephen, as of right now, Stephen A. want to hold on to him as long as he can.
Yeah,
because like I said,
because that's the only reason I watch First Take. If it wasn't for Shannon Sharpe, I wouldn't watch First Take.
Exactly. I don't watch.
I can barely tolerate it with Shannon.
I like Kimberly Martin. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of like Kim Martin. I'm kind of soft on Kimberly Martin.
I don't like how she called my boy a kid.
Yeah, I'm still a little soft. I'm still a little soft on Kimberly Martin.
She got on my damn nerve wearing them damn light green
nails
all year long because motherfuckers kept telling her take them bitches off. She gonna be doing just like a nigga, keep them bitches on for all year.
I rock with Kim Martin though. I do. I rock with Kim Martin.
So
cool. All right.